Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Tonight we're on late night with me and Oscar Carreno. How you doing, Oscar?
Fine, fine. Working and having fun making comics.
Yeah, Oscar's coming to us live from the TARDIS over here on the other side of the galaxy. So, for those of you who don't know, Oscar and Oscar is the colorist for Unheroic Tales, which is the 9-page story in issue 1 of my comic Heroic Tales coming out. And then Oscar is going to be the colorist for the Mary Sue story in issue number 2. And Oscar is the artist and colorist for Eddie is Doomed, which will be my 3rd project. So I don't have a date for that yet, because let's get number 2 get going, and then once number 2 the wheels start moving, then we'll start worrying about Eddie is Doomed. But both projects are going, and we're having a lot of fun. So how's it going, Oscar?
Fine, fine. Well, I say that having fun.
Yeah.
Too ambitious for the future, no?
Yeah, I tell you, Oscar and I have been staying up way too late, to like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, New York time. I might be going back to work next week, so I got to get myself back on a normal schedule. I'm going to the doctor Wednesday, and the doctor may or may not clear me for work the following Monday. So let's see. So I got to get myself back to normal. So no more late nights, Oscar. We got to talk like normal people during the day.
It's a lot of late for you. I'm 2 hours before your hour.
Oh, okay. 2 hours. You artists, you stay up all night. Are you creative at night? Do you like to work at night?
Yeah, I found the night more comfortable. It's less heat, less noise, and work faster.
Okay.
In the day are a lot of things distracting me.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. I'm surrounded by all this stuff. I'm distracted all the time. I got to learn to focus. I got to focus better.
No, it's not distracted. It's inspiration.
Yeah. So Oscar, you've been a colorist and an artist in comic books for a long time, right?
Yeah. I started in the in American comics in late 90s. But I'm working since I'm 15 years.
Okay.
I working in Mexico in newspaper. I don't realize to be a comic artist for first. So options. I want to be a comic strip artist.
Okay.
I love the Snoopy, Calvin and Hobbes, one character named Robotman.
Okay.
Garfield, something, but mostly Pogo.
I love Pogo. Yeah.
I wanted to be a comic strip and publish in newspapers. And in Mexico, I started making a comic strip in a newspaper. But this was I draw a baby named Bernie who has plush toys, and the comic strip was so simple. Just I read the news of the day and make up opinion with the baby.
Okay.
And I started like that, but when I'm born in Tamaulipas, it's a state from Mexico, and I coming to live to study college in Monterrey.
Okay.
When I stay when I coming to Monterrey, I coming to study in visual arts in a college of visual arts. Okay. And I meet some people who make comics, but in an amateur thing, no?
Yeah.
Some of them are a big name now in comic industry. I I I meet with I meet with Edgar Delgado, who is a big colorist in Marvel. Marte Gracia is from here in Monterrey too. Carlo Barberi is from we studied together too in the same school, and those people are big name now in Marvel, and Barberi is drawing Spawn right
Okay.
now.
Cool. And you're working with Magma Comics, right? It's a new company.
And right now, yeah, this Magma company publisher is the publishers coming from heavy metal.
Oh,
They were editors in heavy metal, but the magazine crashed in sometimes, and some guys buy it, but and in this time the magazine crashed, and some editors have another publishing companies like Magma.
okay. So this is what your work. You were the colorist on this comic. This is called Roma Eternal,
Yeah.
and this is coming out in November.
Yeah, November 3, I think so.
Yeah, and I this was great. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but I already read it, and I thought this was really good, right up my alley, man. So I'm looking forward to getting a copy of this. I think I pre-ordered it on Discount Comic Book Service.
It's in direct market.
Right.
You can order it
Comic book
in
stores. This is not
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's not crowdfunding. It's published in direct market. You can order it in the comic shop.
right. So when you go, so if anybody's interested, it's called Roma Eternal. This is what the cover art, but without the cover dress. But it's Magma Comics, Roma Eternal. It's out in November. It's at your comic book stores. So go to your comic book stores and pick this up. It's really good, really good. Is this the first comic by Magma Comics?
No, they have a I think like 4 titles,
Okay,
but it's coming more.
okay. Okay. Yeah, and is this a continuing series? Is this a short series or what?
I think Rome Eternal is going to be 4 issues. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a short story.
Yeah. I'm starting to really like limited series more often because things are going to change. They're going to end. So I'm really excited for this. This is so cool, and I want to show other stuff that Oscar's been doing. Like I said, Oscar and I have been like two little kids playing with stuff. I want to show this. Oscar's going to get a little embarrassed because these aren't finished yet, but I just think it's so cool. But Oscar and I have been playing around with a comic that we're working on now called Eddie is Doomed. And Eddie is a 35-year-old comic book collector. He's going to be from Queens, New York. It's going to be 1985. And Eddie's father, who's a retired police officer, is like, it's too expensive. I'm selling the house and I'm moving down to Florida. And Eddie is going nuts. Eddie just is like, how can you do this to me? Meanwhile, Eddie's a 35-year-old man. So, but Eddie collects comics, and his favorite comic book company is called Top Comics. So Top Comics, they have Golden Age characters, they have Silver Age characters. There's Earth A, there's Earth B. The Golden Age is Earth B, and the Silver Age is Earth A. Sound familiar? And now
I love playing with the styles.
Right. So I told Oscar about all the characters. I'll show you some sketches that I drew, and you can see how Oscar made them good. But he just had so much fun playing with these characters. So this is bikini, the golden age bikini girl over here in the yellow bathing suit, the first one with the red hair, and then there's the silver age bikini girl. These were two in the middle. There's two concept sketches, but the silver age bikini girl is the fourth figure. You know, she's got the colors inverted because it's got to be. That is the Doom Keeper. He's going to be the bad guy, and Big Brother. He's the big.
It was in the cover.
Yeah, big. Yeah, I love the way you drew these. I love the. And then I don't know. I just gave Oscar a name. I said Caesar, and I said he's like a Russian guy under the water. And look what Oscar drew. So now, once I saw that picture, Oscar, I drew a whole big backstory for him. So I got a big backstory for him.
From Caesar?
Yeah, he's Caesar. Yeah, I've really grown to like that character. Just like he was just like a cool name, and you made it real. So I have a backstory, and this is the Alienator. He's going to be one of the bad guys.
And I was thinking the dynamic of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Oh, it's a big name. I'm not saying I'm Jack Kirby, but I think the same dynamic. Stanley says something, Kirby draws something, and Stanley imagine another things, and Kirby finish it or polish the designs, and go forward.
Right, going back and forth. Like
go back
4 o'clock in the morning the other night, going. We should do this. Well, I'll talk about that when we get to the next character. But this last one over here is the Tombstone Kid. So he's a cowboy that became a sheriff and then comes back from the dead. I'm not going to spoil his story yet. And now, but his thing is he never talks. So the Tombstone Kid is this revenant that's obsessed with justice and never speaks. But so cool. I'm going to show some more pictures. I just don't want to scroll through all of our instant messages.
Sure.
Are there more?
You know, when I study, I wanted to be a cinema director. I'm an artist by degree, but my degree is from visual arts. My specialty is cinema. I was wanted to be animator.
Okay.
And I studied some classes, but my specialty is cinema. But when I finished the college, was in '95. It's a lot of expensive make cinema. Make photograph and cinema is a lot of expensive, and in Mexico it's I don't know how the English name is malinchista, when you don't believe the people in your country can do some things like with the quality in another country. No?
Okay.
And I finished the career in cinema, but no, I have no job in Mexico from that. No, and then expensive, a lot of included. Right now, anyone can make a movie with an iPhone and a computer, and it's so easy. But then in that time, for just editing a movie in video, no film, because it's more expensive. Right. Just editing a movie in video is you need a lot of no computer that in that year. It was like I coming in the plane cabin, just a lot of how do you say, lot of no computer, but a switcher and a monitor and
you need a lot of equipment.
A lot of equipment, a lot of expensive, and I don't have it. You use the school.
My buddy Jimmy lives in San Diego, and he's a freelance cameraman for movies.
Yeah.
You get to take a second mortgage to buy a camera. these things are expensive. You know, he's one of the cameramen on the movie Avatar with James Cameron and everything like that. So it was over $100,000 to buy a camera that is good enough to be worked on a movie like that. So yeah, geez. And nowadays he's a little annoyed because since he bought that camera, things have gotten so cheap. You know, they got they got lighter, they got cheaper. He's like a little annoyed. He's like, oh man.
No, even the phone cameras are a lot with a lot of quality right now.
Right. Yeah. One of my buddies is a photographer, and he gets a little annoyed because people are taking pictures with their cameras, and a little bit of know-how. It looks just as good as expensive cameras.
No. I'm with that. It was too expensive to make films or videos, but with all the knowledge, I how do you say it? So sorry for my English. Take me patience.
Okay.
I don't practice so much my talking, but I understand everything and write it. I was in more in the concept artist and the pre-production from the animation.
Okay.
And I'm a specialist in character design. I was working as concept artist for video games and some short experiments and some commercials for TV. But I was, how do you say it? Take advantage of that knowledge of the cinema to write a story. Is like you make a script. If you make a page of comic, it's like you doing storyboards. I take classes for photograph lighting. I don't know if I say right. How to light a scene in a scene. Yeah. Well, that's knowledge is what I use to paint a comic.
Yeah, it looks good. And you know your comics. I'll say something to Oscar, and Oscar's like, "Oh, that's like Spider-Man 156." Like, you know the issues. So you've been a lifelong comic book fan.
Yeah, I'm not a collector, but I a big fanboy of comics. I remember in Mexico we had before 90s we have like a 10 years of how do you say, before the continuity with you. We have 10 years of late. And before 90s, we don't have American comics here. They're in a comic shop, we have reprints of Mexican Spider-Man, Mexican Fantastic Four, and but we just reprint from the original.
Right.
My first comic, my first comic was comic strip. Garfield, Bugs Bunny, Donald Duck. I like a lot Argentinian comic strip named Mafalda. I don't know if you
No, but I love hearing about that. Like daily comic strips from other countries. That's so interesting to me.
It's amazing. The Kino was the author. It is very famous Mafalda in Latin America.
And what is that? Is that a little girl?
Yeah. It's almost Peanuts.
Okay.
It's a little girl with a lot of friends, and every friend is a stereotypical from feminist, from the housewife, from working mom, but just little kids. Okay. You like Peanuts, but for Latin American fans.
So obviously you could read English, so you must have
Yeah.
so much access to comic, because I can't read Spanish. You know,
Yeah,
you can read everything from Europe all the way down to South America. You know, there must be so many comics that you know that I've never heard of.
no, and you don't know the French and the Spanish market. They have a lot of beautiful comics.
Could you read French?
No, no, no.
Oh,
But
I was you
almost,
read French too. I was going to be impressed.
no. But almost all the French comics are translated to Spanish, and the Spanish the from
Oh,
Spain, the normal editorial and some others from there.
what
They
about the Italian? Because the Italian comics, they have a lot of westerns. Are they translated to Spanish, like Tex Ritter and stuff like that?
some of them just in some recent time, Panini Comics come to Mexico about 5-7 years ago,
Okay.
and they come to Mexico. Dylan Dog and Tex Tex Dragonero, some of the typical comics from there. No, I love a comic named Diabolic. I don't know if you use it. Diabolic. It's a spy like James Bond.
Okay.
You know Fantomas from France?
No.
Fantomas?
Oh, Fantomas. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you said my friend Thomas from France. I was like, no, I don't know your friend Thomas from France.
No, from French.
Fantomas. Yeah, Fantomas. That's one of the earlier ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Diabolic is like Fantomas from Italian.
I have to address a super chat. We got RRTNZ, who's been on my channel a few times. He's
mucho gusto.
Me and RR, we kind of bonded over our love of Bill Willingham's Elemental comics. So he says, another great guest on Longbox. I love your background there, Oscar.
Yeah.
Mucho gusto. Cheers. This is from New Zealand. So I
see him in the covering time.
Yeah, he's been on a few times. Very Danger Diabolic, DC Miller says.
Yeah, this one. And I love the art, I love the stories. And Panini make a Spanish translation in Mexican market.
Yeah, did you see what DC Miller did some fan art of Bikini Girl?
Yeah.
First
fan art, and we don't have any comic yet.
Yeah, we don't even have a comic book out yet, and your designs are getting some fan art. I'm gonna bring it up, just because it's so cool. I woke up because I woke up late today because I've been staying up late talking to Oscar all night long. I wake up and I see this on my Twitter feed. Oh my God, I was so I was like, wait a minute, somebody has a character that looks just like me, and somebody did fan art. But this is Bikini Girl, and Bikini Girl was she was a dancer for the USO during World War II, excuse me, and she took some time off, and she went to the Knoll Bikini Atoll and was relaxing on the beach. Unbeknownst to her,
it's like Sharon Carter. It's like Sharon Carter, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, well, she was relaxing on the beach when they tested nuclear bombs, atomic bombs, and she got hit by rays, and she became Bikini Girl, so she could unleash the power of the atom, and she looks good in a bikini while doing it.
Cool.
So that's gonna.
I'm really having a lot of fun with that.
It is. It's so much fun. He wants to do Caesar too. I tell you, I got a whole story and an origin and a motivations for Caesar.
I love all the characters, but my favorites are the mystery and both Captain Arachnid.
Okay, well, I'll bring up those then. Okay, here is the mystery. And it's funny because I tell Oscar, okay, we're going to do the mystery. And then he starts correcting me. No. This is what this guy could do. So that's without the cape is the Golden Age mystery and the Silver Age mystery. Or are you going to do another one for? Is this
no? you say there are no golden age of
Oh
him.
yeah, that's right. There's
And
only
I didn't know he was a magician when I designed it.
oh
I used the without the cape. It feels like something missing.
right. So this is the mystery. He will be, one of the characters in the top 10. So the top 10 are the superheroes for top comics. In top comics, we're going to play like a
You know, when I designed this, I was thinking in Mr. Knight from Moon Knight,
yeah.
but in black.
Let's see. I don't want to show all of our talking because I'm going this from our Twitter feed, so we don't need to see our conversation. But I want to show this. Where is it? I want to show this for two reasons. Because first off, it's great, and then second off, you get to see my drawings, so we can laugh at my artwork. I'm just going to make this big, but this is the first one I sent, and you can see my horrible drawings all the way on the left. And you can see what Oscar did with it. So this is phenomenal, man. He's the superhero, the Superman type. I love that Golden Age version all the way on the right with like the baggy trunks. How freaking cool is that? And then the Silver Age versions all the way on the left. And then the two in the middle is Oscar playing around. And then on the bottom is Thunder Woman. She's going to be like the Wonder Woman character. So there's the Golden Age version all the way on the left. And the Silver Age version, one spot over to the right. I just love that. She's going to be the sexy Viking, powerful woman. I just love it. So I can't help but smile whenever I look at them. They're so good. And let's see, do we got? Oh, here is Thunder Girl. There's only a Silver Age version. Thunder Woman didn't have a sidekick in the Golden Age, but she had a sidekick in the Silver Age. Thunder Girl. I like I said, I smile every time I see these. That's the mystery. Oh, this one. There's a story for this one. Where is it? There's a story over here. Oh, I got scared. I thought my computer crashed. But this is Robot Gorilla. And Robot Gorilla is I'm thinking it's supposed to be the 40s and the 50s, and the comic book executives are like, what sells? And one guy goes, robots, and the other guy goes, gorillas, and then the guy with the cigar goes, Robot Gorilla. I like it, and now, so like,
you know that it's a real story. I don't remember who in the industry say that always sell better comics when a gorilla is in the cover.
Right. That's the origin of this. That's the origin. I'm trying to imagine the pitch meeting. Like what were those kids want? Those kids
I remember was someone from DC, but I don't remember the name.
Oh yeah.
I heard the story.
Me too. And the name is me. Yeah, a yellow superhero with the yellow letter P. Yeah, that's on purpose. He's phenomenal, man, and he's yellow and he's got a big P. Yeah. I gotta show more of these because I just love these. Where I'm scrolling down. This is going to be the bad guy, the main bad guy. This is the Doom Keeper. Now the Doom Keeper, I just told you his name. And you designed this one all on your own.
No, you sent me a draft.
Oh, I did? Okay. Yeah, it's Julius Schwartz.
Yeah, but this was like a skeleton.
Yeah. So he's the main bad guy. He's the main bad guy. So he's going to drive the story. He's destroying Earth A and Earth B. So Eddie is doomed.
It's like Galactus or like Anti-Monitor or something like that.
Right. So what we're kind of goofing on is I got to get Tonic Ball on here too, because Tonic Ball is going to be drawing the real story, like Eddie and Eddie's father and at the comic shop, and then Oscar is going to be drawing and coloring all of the superhero stuff. And it's funny, I sent I'll show the cover in a little bit, but I sent it to Tonic Ball and he said, "You're coloring on his drawing. He loves it."
Yeah.
Yeah, he says it looks 100% better. So now I was thinking of making it just black and white for the Eddie story, try to make it look like Love and Rockets, and then but I don't know, maybe we'll color the whole thing, or maybe we'll color the whole, maybe we'll whatever.
Yeah, I was trying to make it in the cover, the real life, make it color real with a lot of volume, and the characters are more like animation or more flat, golden and silver age
Well, you
comic.
did a good job of. I'll bring up the cover in a bit, but you did a good job of showing that there's different worlds. You know what I mean? This is Big Brother, and Big Brother is going to be like the Watcher kind of character. He's, you know, I got a story for him. I just love this design. I
You know,
love it.
I wanted to make it a little bit buffer,
Yeah,
and the eye had a lot, a little more big and floating.
that is just
Maybe.
that is so good. That is so good. I love these designs, and yeah, I said I told Oscar to send me good files of them, and I'll start working on cards. And Oscar goes, "No, these aren't the cards. You're gonna work. You're gonna do it again." All right.
No, no. We need to make a good art.
So this is Caesar. I love this. So he's like I started finding out about this like conspiracy theory about the Tartarians. So he's going to be the last of the Tartarians who was tossed into the sea by the mud floods. So that he wants to reclaim the surface world for the Tartarian Empire. I got a great story in mind for him. He's going to be like a villain in the vein of like Namor and Doctor Doom. He wants to dominate the world because he
The first version of Namor, no?
yeah, he's named, yeah, he wants to restore his empire. I love him. He's so good. Big Brother is always watching you. Everyone loved Big Brother in Oceania. Well, that's kind of a goof on that too. You know, 1984 and Big Brother. I don't know. This is as I was saying, Tonic Mole and I, we were on somebody else's channel, and we were talking about comic books. I guess surprise, we were talking about comic books, and I said, "Yeah, I'm working on the worst comic book in the world. I'm working on a comic book about a comic book collector who has to move out of his mother's basement." And we all laughed. And then Tonic Mole said, "No, that could be the best comic book ever." And then he started talking to me that night, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is a really good idea." And then
The comic book for comic fans.
right, comic book kind of tongue in cheek, making fun of comic book fans, but not mean. You know what I mean? It's and I wrote all of Eddie's story. And then I said, you know what? Eddie has to be reading a comic book. So I just kind of made up ideas for, and the more I thought about it, the more I want to expand the comic. So Eddie's story is already written. I just got to expand the comic book character story now. I want this comic to be equal superheroes and equal real life. And each story, like kind of, you know, you care about the superhero story and you care about Eddie's story. You know, like it was just going to be goofy little pictures of superheroes in the background or whatever. But now there's going to be two full stories intertwined. I hope.
Did you read Murder Falcon?
What's that?
Did you read Murder Falcon?
Oh, Murder Falcon. No, I heard a lot of good stuff about it. I should pick it up.
You will like it. It's awesome. The story.
Yeah,
Obviously, the art is amazing. Warren Johnson is
he's doing Transformers now, right?
Yeah. But Transformers is a good story. I don't like a lot the art, but he has that story of Murder Falcon. He has a awesome story from Beta Ray Bill, and who has and he has story from wrestling. Do a power one.
Okay.
Those are amazing. Even his Wonder Woman is amazing writer. So But Murder Falcon is like a metaphorical um, story from a guy who is a fan from heavy metal
Yeah,
and have a lot of problems, and then magically appears a superhero chicken, big Buffy with a guitar and the power of metal, destroy all the adversity.
yeah. I gotta pick it up. I just want to say
It's
hello to
a
Jim
it's a
O'Reilly, great
fun.
artist. Jim O'Reilly's working on Crom the Destroyer over for RJ for the fourth age.
Oh, yeah. I see his interview. It's an awesome art too.
So this one, I just told you the name, right? I didn't send you a drawing for the Alienator, right?
Alienator.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the villains, because they all got to be in it. Good guys, bad guys. Uh, uh, this is one of my favorites. This is actually a character from our role playing game, the Tombstone Kid. The Tombstone Kid is a sheriff who is ambushed, and his desire for justice extends beyond the grave. And he comes out of the grave and he brings the bad guys to justice. So he's a revenant sheriff of Tombstone, Arizona.
Yeah, I never asked if you like the character like that, but because I was finding some reference, and I see the old comic from Kid Cole. He's a teenager, but they draw it more adult, more tall, and I don't know if he was right to make it more teenage like a kid.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
It worked.
it looks good. It looks good. This is the strangest character. And again, I was just picturing like Julius Schwartz type guys just sitting around like, yeah, we don't have enough girls buying comic books. We need more girls. What do girls like? And one guy's like, comic books about nurses, and another guy goes, they like cats. So the guy goes, cat nurse. And then cat nurse is going to be in the comic. And cat nurse, she's going to be like, why am I here? What am I doing? Like she's
I never understand the comic The Night Nurse. Is this equal the Lady Cop? It's
yeah.
just a girl in the cover, no?
So she's just going to be a nurse who's a cat. She's cat nurse, and even she doesn't know why she exists. I don't know why. I get a kick out of that character. Oh, sweet heartache. And then I'll scroll down here. Your favorite's coming up, right?
Yeah.
This is your favorite. Do I have everything working? This is the Golden Age Captain Arachnid.
Yeah, I'm in love with the noir stories.
Yeah.
I when I was a kid, my grandpa read a translated pulps from the Shadow and the Dog Savage, and I love it. There were no comics; it's just letters. But the reading the stories, it was so good for me. I have a 7, 9 years old when and my grandma read Agatha Christie.
Yep. I like what you said. I said Captain Arachnid, the Golden Age Captain Arachnid. Then there's the Silver Age Captain Arachnid, and you were just like, he's a spy, like Lobster Johnson, So
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, that was better than what I thought. So I was like, yeah, go with that. That's so much better. And then you sent these sketches, and I'm like, that is perfect. I love that. I mean, I and when I saw this picture, that's when I said I got to do more with these characters. Like they were just made up to be a throwaway to help out Eddie's story. And these guys, like it's a perfect example. They're writing themselves, because now I have so many ideas about these goofy characters that I made up just to bolster Eddie's story, that if Eddie is Doomed does okay, I want to follow it up with Secret Origins of the Top 10 Golden Age, and then Secret Origins of the Top 10 Silver Age, and do like 8-page old-fashioned comics of these characters. these characters, like, they deserve more. They're so good. And here is the Silver Age.
Yeah, I wanted to see Thunder Woman story by Renzo.
Oh yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Brian Bow wants to do Big Brother from
Sure.
Wolf and Betsy. I was like, oh, I'm not going to say no to that. I'm not going to say no to that. But this is the Silver Age. He's more like space and science, whereas the first guy is more like mystic, right? We would say the Golden Age is like Lobster Johnson and the Shadow. The silver. So I just love that costume design. That is just simple and elegant. It's so good.
I think this character I like them more because I love the two genres. I love the noir,
Yep.
the noir novels and the noir movies, but I like the 70s B movies, all experiments of radiation and make monsters. I don't know if you see the movie War versus Spider.
What movie?
War versus Spider with Dan Aykroyd. It's a Spider-Man movie with the experiment go wrong.
No, I never heard of it.
The principal is a comic fan, and he's bitten by a radioactive spider, but he converts in a spider giant people. It's amazing the world versus spider with Dan Aykroyd.
This is the cover to Eddie is Doomed. And like I said, Tonic Bowl drew Eddie, and Oscar drew all of the superheroes. So this is Eddie reading a comic book, imagining. And the only thing I said is Kirby Crackle, right? It has just Kirby Crackle in it. And look at this. Tonic Bowl loves it. He thinks it's so good, I can't stop looking at it. I've been looking at this all day. I've been showing people, just look. That is so good.
Tomorrow I'll send you the last version.
Yeah, I thought it was done, and you're like, no, it's not done yet. I'm like,
no.
It's getting
the heroes are flat in. They need a little light and some volume to separate it, and when it's flat, it's like all the colors seems like the same. You think you need to wash it very close to the test for finding who is it. That's why in the 70s, 60s, the colors were so weird. Was so weird. The light blue and the pink and the yellow backgrounds.
Yeah.
Was for the character pop out.
Right.
They have only 47 colors for paint everything.
Right.
That's why almost all the heroes for that time are yellow, white, blue, and red, and all the villains are purple and green.
Right.
So that was all the colors they had to do it.
And you look, you see the Fantastic Four getting in their machine and flying away, and the sky is yellow because they just need to color it something to distinguish it from everything else. It's the palette was so limited back then. I kind of miss it though, to be honest.
In sometimes I was a colorist. I can say it. I love the flat, but have his time. I know you like it. I know the first page of the patriarch was trying to emulate that, but I think I failed from that
But
attempt.
But we'll show.
But
I'm going to show you first. I'm going to show you a cover for Mary Sue. Just how good your colors are. I got to get that up, but yeah,
I hear your conversation with other artists that the style of the colors. You know, I'm a colorist now, and I like the volume, like concept artists, but it goes with the style of the drawing too. I know, I see the. You remember the Punisher for my sake covers?
I'm sorry.
The Punisher cover from my sec. Do you remember that?
The Punisher cover from Mike Zeck. Yeah.
I think the color ruined it completely the art.
You think the color ruined the art or completed?
Yeah. It was like a airbrush everything.
Yeah, I remember that cover. That coloring was so different than anything else at the time. I remember that.
I don't like it. And I don't if you remember that Byron Spider-Man issues, I think was year one Spider-Man.
Which one?
Year one Spider-Man from John Byrne.
Yeah.
The artist is Luke Byrne completely, but in that time the coloring was a lot of airbrush too that ruined it completely.
Right.
I love the volume and the color, but if you are a bad colorist, you have a bad choice. You have a bad choice with the art. It's going to be bad. But if you have a good colorist, even if you have a flat or make volume, you know the color, you know the separation of how do you say deep?
I think that a lot of colorists, they throw everything on a page like they're trying to impress everybody, and I think that's bad. Like I'm looking at this right now. Every one of those little slices has its own look, its own color. Nothing's competing for the eyes. I just love this. I
have two problems from that. I know a lot of artists that are wonderful and awesome artists who make bad art from the deadline from the big editorials. In Marvel is insane deadlines, like make a whole comic in 15 days or even less in a week.
Yeah,
it's insane. For good you are, you have to make everything from the first choice and going to be bad. I know a guy who is an amazing artist. I don't remember the name yet, but have an opportunity in Marvel. And then he was fired because his art was bad because the deadlines is impossible. And the market is everyone want to work with Marvel or DC. If you have problems for anything, you got sick, you got late, you have I don't know, some days you don't have
you have a bad day.
You don't want to work. And there's a line of a lot of aspiring artists trying to you get wrong, they get in. I was surviving like 2 years, completing works from some other people who has a bad day or have a bad work or he can't finish in time some things. No, it's brutal the big publishers. It's a like a machine of making comic with no soul, with no, I don't know. And I'm a little old. I'm 50 years, and my back, my hands, I don't make the rhythm of the 20 years aspiring artists. But with the normal time, I can do excellent work. 30 years of experience.
I tell me about it. I'm doing construction. I don't want to do this for another 10 years. I'm trying to look. I was trying to find your drawing of the patriarch that you sent me, but I forget what folder I put it in. I'm trying to get organized, and I'm putting things in folders, and then I'm forgetting what folders I'm putting them in. But
You posted today, no?
Yeah, I posted it for the promotion of this. But yeah, it's in one of these folders. I got stuff on my phone, which is easy to find, and then the stuff that's supposed to make it easy for me to find, I can't find. Come on.
I love that style. I'm influenced by Eric Larsen and Bruce Timm, and a little of old, like Alex Toth. I love Alex Toth, the simplicity of the things and the shadows. But those are my three influences for my style. Alex Toth, Eric Larsen from Savage Dragon, and Bruce Timm. I was blow mind with the Batman animated, and then the Justice League and Superman and Batman Beyond. That style was amazing and blew my mind when I discovered it.
Yeah, I love Alex Toth. I love Bruce Timm's. To me, his Batman the animated series to me is my favorite Batman. It's even I like it even more than the comics.
Yeah.
So good, so good. Like it's a big inspiration for me. I would love to. I mean,
for the art, for the stories, Paul Dini. I was seeing the new Batman animated in Prime, and I think Paul Dini was all the storyteller from that. I don't like it. I love the style, the Bruce Timm style, but the stories are I don't like it. Two or three from chapters from that show like it. The art and the design are very good, but the stories I don't like it. Not like the first Batman animated.
I bought them all on DVDs and I watched them every once in a while. I'm like turning into like a recluse. Like I don't read any. Well, I do read new comics, but I don't read that many new comics. I don't watch anything on TV. People keep recommending TV shows for me, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, if I have free time, I don't watch TV. I read comics, and I've been reading older and older comics. Like I'm in the process of reading Cerberus now. It's getting good again. Around 50, it was so boring, but it's getting good again. DC Miller asked, "Is Eddie is Doomed a one shot?" Yes, Eddie is Doomed is a one shot. And then
potential,
and then potentials for spin-offs for the superhero characters. And here, because I'm a crazy person, it all has to be tied together. So Eddie is going to be the manager of one of the supermarkets that Mary Sue's father owns. Mary Sue's father runs Sue Mart, and it's going to be a supermarket chain. So Eddie runs a local Sue Mart. So that's how it's tied in. So Eddie is the same age as Mary Sue's father because it's set 1986. So he's going to be Mary Sue's father. So the patriarch, his kids will be reading top 10 comics. So that's how it's all tied together. So you might even see the top 10 comic book characters as comic book characters.
Eddie's in the same world of patriarch.
Yeah, Eddie is a real person who exists in the world of the patriarch and Mary Sue and all of those guys. And then so Mary Sue and the patriarch, they all know Captain Arachnid and the Mystery. Those are the superheroes, the cartoons that they watched, the comic books they watched. So I'm so because I have to make everything connected. I have to. I'm a crazy person.
Yeah, you're building a universe.
Yeah, I have the idea for this big one shot. I don't know how many pages it is. So far, Eddie's story is 32 pages. I have a script that I already sent to Tonic Bowl, and then I told him stop working on it because I'm going to be changing. So I'm expanding it for the superhero. So you're both going to get everybody's stories. You know what I mean? And so it's going to be. So I don't know. This is going to be a big book. Going to be a big book. You know, unless like Mike Barron says, you always cut things to make things better. Dad, why aren't you as cool as Phenomenal Man? Yep, because Phenomenal Man isn't real, Junior. Yeah, and then I have an idea for another one shot that, you know, will also be tied into Heroic Tales, but in a way you won't expect. That'll be really bizarre. That's going to be a grand mythological story.
And you wanted to do some horror too, no?
Yes, I have a horror story that it'll be. I want to explain. I want to make vampires scary again. I remember Guillermo del Toro said that he went to go see a Twilight movie in the movie theater, and he said when he came out of it, he was just like, vampires are monsters. They're supposed to be scary, you know. Yeah. And I never forgot that. So when he said that, I started thinking of a vampire story, and he came up with The Strand. That's where he made that vampire story. And I came up my own way of vampires. And
did you see the series or read the book?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't read the book. I want to because I like Del Toro. So I'm making vampires like terrifying. Like you know how like people like watch vampire movies, like, oh, I'd like to be a vampire. You don't want to be a vampire in my world because they are horrible, nasty, and you know, like if in my world, Oscar, if I'm a vampire and I bite you and I eat you and then you turn into a vampire, Oscar's dead. What happens is an evil spirit takes over your body and pretends to be Oscar. That way it tricks your friends. Oh no, it's me, it's Oscar. Come, and then, but it's not Oscar. Oscar's gone. There is no
family's lot. I was thinking the vampires were like zombies. It's a virus. It's a virus. He needs to go and spread.
Yeah, I'd like to do a zombie story. I like horror, but I got this. So I got this vampire story. It's going to be set in the cowboy days, and then the sequel is going to be set in the 60s. You know, because vampires live forever, kind of. You know what I mean? So I want to do that, and that will definitely be tied into Heroic Tales, because Heroic Tales is set in Arizona. So there's a little you know, and where is the Old West? So that there's a little spoiler for everybody.
Yeah, sure.
I was going to say, what if one was already nasty and horrible? Actually dying is bad too. Yep. Yeah. So there's no saving you. If you get bit and killed by a vampire, you're gone. And death is dead in my stories. If you die, you die. There's no coming back. Unless
I love those stories from Alex Toth from Erie. Do you know him?
Alex Toth? Yeah.
No, but the horror stories from Erie.
Oh, Erie? Oh, do I know Erie Magazine? Of course I know Erie Magazine. Here we go. I got Creepy. I got Creepy. More Creepy over here. Where's my Erie magazines? Deadly. Oh, I'm up to issue 12 of Erie. So I'm up to issue. So I buy Creepy. Like I buy 2 or 3 at a time, and I'm reading them as they go along. So I bought number 1, I bought number 2, and and I read up to.
Yeah,
I like
in Mexico we don't have the access to those. Since 90s were the first conventions here, and they opened the first comic shops, and then we have the first American comics here. I remember that my first American comic, I bought 2, the Excalibur #1 from Alan Davis.
Okay,
that was a big fan of Alan Davis too.
Yeah,
and
Neary, right, with Chris Claremont writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
some people don't like Excalibur, but I love it. It's some fantasy and more British and
Right.
Captain Britain. I love the new design Davis did.
Did you have access to British comics too in Mexico?
Sometimes came was an editorial here in Mexico in the 90s, 80s, late 80s, first 90s, who reprint or bring Spanish comics here, and then translate some of the Italian, French. We have Moebius art, some Meglia from Argentina who make Cyber Six and Irish Coffee, some European comics translated and make it here in Mexico through this editorial. But the American comics use had the Marvel and DC kind. We don't have another kind of airy or from the crypt or some. We have math. We have a half American American math, and some half of the magazine was made by artists from here. But we don't have another access to other. I remember that time when the editorials reprint Marvel comics and DC comics here. They reprint at the same time Phoenix Obscura, Dark Phoenix, Man of Steel, the West Coast Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and the what was the one? Acts of Vengeance. All drawn by Byrne. And for a time I thinking Byrne was the only artist in the world who made comics, because all the comics I collected all was drawn by John Byrne. That was I was fan from.
How old were you when all of these comics came out? How old were you?
Like 10 years, 10, 11 years.
10 years old and you're getting all of these John Byrne comics. No wonder you grew up and made films and comics. They're so good. They're still
and from the other side, I have the Batman from Alan Davis. I don't remember but Alan Davis was drawing Batman with the
Mike Barr. Mike Barr was writing it, right?
I don't remember, but it was like a restart because the first issues have a Catwoman with the
cape on.
Yeah.
She had a dress and a cape.
Not the gray cat or the.
Right.
Or the...
That's when I started collecting Batman, and that was such a weird little short run, and I loved them. They look so good.
Yeah, Alan Davis was a awesome Batman artist. I love Aparo. I love Neil Adams.
Yeah.
But the Alan Davis Batman blew my mind completely.
Yeah. That was. I've never. He drew Catwoman. She had like this big purple dress.
Yeah.
Like a green cape, and then she had the whip with the cat o' nine tails, and it almost looked like it was from the 40s. Right?
Yeah,
it looked old fashioned.
I think that was the great of Alan Davis design, because it looks awesome drawing,
right?
But look retro at the same time.
Right, and that's the picture that they used in the DC Who's Who. If you remember that, the DC Who's Who?
No,
the Marvel Universe. They made a comic book just with pictures and descriptions of all the characters. It was like a catalog.
Yeah. I know the Marvel kind, because when I working with Marvel, they send those guides for every character of Marvel, no?
Yeah, that's because that was right around Crisis on Infinite Earths, and that's when I started collecting DC. before Crisis on Infinite Earths, I got the Legion of Superheroes, those Paul Levitz, Keith Giffen comics. They were so good. And I got the new Teen Titans with George Perez and Marv Wolfman. And for some reason, I don't know. Oh, I got Infinity Incorporated. I love like World War II superheroes. There's something about World War II and superheroes that goes together. Like I love when they have like the fin on their head, you know what I mean? And they got like the circles with the cape. What do they call that?
I know the designs with that, but I didn't read the comics from almost late 80s. We have before an editorial named Novaro, who was a big editorial from Mexico. They distribute to Spain and Brazil and all the Latin American or Spanish talking market. And they had two comics who named it Superman Presents and Batman Presents. And they print in there some Swamp Thing, some Flash, some Metamorpho, but use close sagas. We don't have the lot of comics you have. When we start with continuity in comics, in DC always was with Men of Steel of John Byrne.
Yeah.
Then they have, and the Batman with the Alan Davis. They have the continuity with before that was a random stories that so you don't. They finished the saga, but not the continue the series. They finished Metal Man and then started with I don't remember. I love the character with a kid with a pink monster and a skeleton and two leprechauns. Do you remember the comic? It was from DC.
Oh, a kid with this. He had a skeleton. What, Clarion the Witch Boy or
No. It was a kid comic, but it was a kid who lived in a mansion like
Stanley and his monster.
Yeah. I love that comic. the pink monster. I started to draw from the monster, the pink monster.
So what do you like better? Do you like drawing monsters or do you like drawing superheroes?
I love the superheroes. I'm a big comic fan, but sometimes I love the fantasy drawing too. Not the Conan. I love the more sci-fi.
Oh, okay.
The fantasy in the kind of
sci-fi
don't exist in the real world.
Oh, okay.
I hear you the last time you love the time travel stories. I'm a big fan too from that kind of lecture or the theme.
What about you? What about space?
Space, time travel. I love Doctor Who.
Yeah.
For that too. The Flash Gordon comic from Alex Raymond. You know, I not collect comics, but I read a lot.
Yeah, you know your comics. You know, whenever we talk comics, you know everything. I always ask this in Mexico. I'm always fascinated that the Spider-Man comics in Mexico, they didn't like that Gwen Stacy died, so they just kept her alive in the Mexican comics.
Yeah, you know the comics here. I hear the conversation with Dex, with Jose Garcia. We name it Dex here, and they say the industry of comics in Mexico was like a Japanese industry. They don't have school. They have an artist, and you go with the artist to make a psychic. You know, you make you make a cleanup or make coffee or wash the brushes.
Yeah, so you're the
You
apprentice.
yeah, like apprentice, and that was the how you know how you learn to make comics at that time. Yeah, and there was a big market in Mexico. We have still have the Guinness record of the most most selling comic in the world.
Oh wow.
We have Caliman. Caliman was a hero from India who lived in Mexico. We had meditating powers and levitate and can who had knowledge of martial arts and a lot of it's like a mystical thing.
What's his name?
They
Taliban?
Kaliman with K, like a god Kali.
Oh, Cali man.
Yeah, with K.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at it now.
Well, they have it printed weekly, like and sales. Not only printed, sales 2 million copies a week,
Wow.
and still have the record, the Guinness record of
Is
the
this it?
more. Yeah, this one,
The hombre incredible. The
incredible man.
That is great. I never heard of this. This was the biggest selling comic in the world at one point.
Yeah. 2 million copies weekly, and that was the standard in the industry. The comics here were weekly. Every week you have a cowboy comic or a wrestler comic or a porn comic like a chambeadoras or prostitute theme, and they have a comic like Lágrimas y Risas, who was adapted to telenovelas in the USA in the TV. Uh, they have weekly standard of making comics, and obviously like Japan,
Hey,
they
Renzo's
are.
here. Hey, Renzo. How you doing?
Hey, Renzo, ¿cómo estás?
So, Caliban, he had a TV show?
No,
Oh,
they have a radio show,
so,
a radio show, and two movies.
so how old was this? What?
Wow, it's like 50s, 60s, and start to and they end like in late 80s when the creators die,
Oh,
and
okay.
the sons have a big fight for the rights, and they never publish it again until this year. I think the rights was bought by a company and start making again comics of Caliman. But they sell a lot and have a very successful radio show who every Mexico here when was the dinner no see the dinner hour, you need to hear Caliman. We
Sounds like my dad. When my dad was a kid, they listened to The Shadow on the radio.
yeah, Shahrukh.
Yeah, my father loved The Shadow.
You know, I find in Spotify some of that radio of Shadow and the Blue Beetle.
Okay. I love this picture. What is this girl doing? Is she killing herself? Is she
No,
smashing with a
she's
gun?
like offering wool to the god of serpent god or something like that. He has a lot of mysticism, like
Yeah.
martial arts and meditating and yoga and how to cultivate your body to control it.
Well, that was big. That was The Shadow too. Was a lot of mysticism. You know.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
little blue
It had the pull feeling.
right? Like in the 30s, like I'm slowly reading Doc Savage. I'm the slowest reader in the world. But
Mm.
it seems like in the 30s,
Love it too. My grandpa had the pulse in Spanish from Doc Savage.
that in the 30s, it was mysticism and everything like that. It was, and then in the 40s, it was like, I don't know, like look at Indiana Jones. That's one of the things I liked about the Indiana Jones movies is chronologically, the Temple of Doom was set in the 30s and it was fighting mysticism, and then the 40s it was Nazis and everything like that, and then in the 50s that it was UFOs and everything. So I didn't see
that movie don't exist.
Oh, and then in the
other movie don't exist.
Yeah, I didn't see the 60s one. I don't know. What do they fight in the 60s? I don't know. Hippies, commies? I don't know.
It's like Highlander 2 didn't exist too.
And Solon was his Robin? So Caliban had Solon?
Yeah, I have a psychic named Solin.
Lorenzo says he learned to read with Caliban comics.
Yeah.
I didn't know it. I wonder if they're translated into English. I'd like to pick up some Caliban comics.
Well, in I say that they say weekly, and all the comics say weekly. So Spider-Man, they bought the rights to publish here, and how they say weekly, they run out of stories very, very quickly. And then Marvel officially give permission to make their own stories and have I don't remember the name. I think Rafael Duran was the artist who made the Spider-Man, and obviously it was the time when Stacy was the girlfriend of Peter Parker. And they draw like a Mexican body, woman body, no so skinny, or it wasn't an exit, complete exit. It was a lot of exit than when the Green Goblin killed Gwen Stacy. In Mexico, didn't die. He still girlfriend and then married with Gwen Stacy here in Mexico, and it was another story completely, no?
Right. I find that so funny that Mexico is like, we like.
It was because the drawing of the Gwen Stacy was so good for Mexican people.
You said this came out weekly. It couldn't have been one guy drawing it. They must have had a whole team of people.
In from other comics, yes. As I say, it was like a Japanese
like a studio,
like a Japanese studio. He has a drawing the characters, and others make the backgrounds, and others make the ink, and another make a watch from Grace, from a watercolor Grace. Those Caliban didn't have color, just the cover.
Just the cover, black and white.
Yeah, it's all the interiors are a sepia tint.
Is he named after the Hindu goddess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a servant of the Kali god.
The style of the Mexican artist makes Gwen Stacy thick.
Yeah. It was so successful drawing that didn't want to kill her.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't. Well, they killed her before I even read comics, so to me she was always dead. But if you kill somebody, they got to stay dead. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. I don't like that. You go to another universe and get another version of Gwen Stacy or whatever. I'm trying to find solace.
If you have a good story, it's fine. I don't mind. But I remember I fall with the Death of Superman. and I know it was it is Águila Solitaria, the lonely eagle.
Oh, this
It
is
was, it was from the same
this is
creator.
a different
It's another
character.
comic. It's different, different character.
So what is this? The solitary eagle?
Yeah,
Oh,
Águila Solitaria.
yeah. Oh, that's
Is like a Khazar or Turok kind of character.
he's like an Indian,
Yeah,
and he's got himself a hot chick in his arm. So he flies, I guess.
yeah, like a hackmack. He's not a mutant, not the real wings, but he had plane in the air. But it's not like a Khazar or Tarzan or
Rick and Morty is all right because they're goofing on it. You know, like you don't take Rick and Morty seriously. You know, but when I watch the MCU and they kill off Robert Downey Jr. and then they announce that he's in the next movie, it just doesn't work for me. But like Rick and Morty, it's supposed to be a silly, goofy comic cartoon. That don't bother me.
yeah.
It doesn't look too solitary with a chick in one arm and a kid in the other. Oh,
Yeah, it was a fun. When I start to buy comics, American comics, yeah, I say it was Caliber 1 and Next Men Annual with Art Adams art.
oh,
Do you remember that time when they go to Asgard?
yes. And Storm
Yeah.
becomes a Valkyrie.
Yeah. That was the annual I bought the when the storm comes to the Valkyrie in Asgard with Art Adams art. It was amazing for me.
Yeah, that was so good. Yeah, I agree with you. That was anytime Art Adams did anything, it was like a special event.
You know, some curious thing in some covers from Kaliman, there are a Galactus villain like that, a copy paste of Galactus, and another from the Thing. You know, you don't see you have to draw weekly something. You run out of ideas and
So
make
they swipe other people's faces and put
yeah
it in.
yeah. Who in out of Mexico? Who knows?
Right. Stan Lee's not going to find out. Let's.
Yeah,
I like this one, the Valley of the Vampires.
Yeah, I think that was the first story of him. It was like a Kaliman versus Dracula. It was funny. It was funny and complement with the radio show, and you, a little boy with a lot of imagination. It was a good time.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to see the sidekick. I guess this is the sidekick. Look, where is it?
Yeah, he have a hat like a Doctor Who.
A Fez.
Yeah, Fez.
That's him.
Yeah, but this was the first issues. Later, he has a striped shirt, red and white. But he's Salim.
That's the sidekick. That's funny.
Look, Kaliman versus Galactus.
What can Caliban do? What are his powers?
Have a mental powers. He can hypnotize. He can levitate. He has a like a Batman strange. He was not super strange, but he has a athletic strange body. He can meditate to stop the heart of him to play dead. He's a wise man.
Look at
I
this.
know he has a expert of weapons and martial art. He's like a Moon Knight, like Moon Knight with
Look at this. He's
Indian.
fighting Galactus.
Yeah, it was a real cover. That
Look at that. And Marvel was just like, I guess they didn't know, huh?
Yeah.
Look at that. Calimán the Incredible. What was that guy's name? Was he called Galactus in the comic?
I don't remember. Like El Loco Rojo, the Mad Red.
The Mad Red. That's great.
Yeah, if you have to have a idea weekly,
Right.
you run
Just
out.
give me something. Give me something. Yeah, that'll
Yeah,
work. That'll work. Yeah, the British comics were weekly too. So, geez, I guess the Americans had it easy, just once a month.
yeah.
But were they were there a lot
They have a lot of comics in America, but now there's a lot of details. That's something you say at the first of this episode. Uh, right now, the artist, I think what is was because before all the artists work in the same office in Marvel in the office, no? And
like Marvel used to have the bullpen. They would all work together.
Yeah. But now with the internet, I'm working from Mexico, and the letter is in Spain.
Right. Like you're in Mexico, Renzo's in Mexico, but not near you, and Daniel's in Brazil.
No, Renzo is in the other side of the country.
Oh yeah,
completely. And the I think the separate team, the separate work of the comic make bad for the comics. Let me explain.
Okay.
Obviously, Marvel, DC, the big companies, they have a machine to make comics. They separate the penciler from the writer, from the inker, from the colorist, from the letter, from the designer. In a way, they say to make faster.
Right, like make it like
I can ink the first page when the penciler is still pencil the second or the third. But the right is they don't want to one people have the all the work because he can fight for the right.
Right, he becomes too popular.
Become co-creator
right.
or something. No, you know that the I obviously I can do it, but if you see a contract from Marvel now with Disney, it's a Kama Sutra, please. It's a lot of how many things you can do and how many less rights you have. It's insane completely. But this separation of work with the team, it makes to all the participants sees his work like a separate thing, not like a whole comic. And then everyone want to shine in his own work.
Right.
That was
you could be replaced because we just need a guy to do colors. We just need a guy to ink. You know.
Yeah, it's like a
cog in the machine.
Yeah, it's like you replace the
replaceable parts.
Yeah. But at the same time, everyone wants to shine in his work, because if you don't shine, maybe you can replace it, but another one who shine. And then the writers make some scripts with a lot of characters and a lot of dialogue who is impossible to put in a page. And the artists make a lot of details, a lot of shadows, a lot of textures, because they wanted to the page see big in the hands of the editor. And then the colorists want to make everything shine, everything, a lot of color with a lot of work, because you wanted to the editor say, oh, he works a lot. If you make a comic with a flat color, they wanted to pay you less, or is the feeling you have. Even if the now with the computer, a lot of artists draw and ink his own work, but they don't pay him the price of the inker and the price of the pencils. They cut half and cover. You want a little more, but not the same as you pay a penciler and an inker at the same time. It's crazy times. Even when I painted comics in the late first 2000, I I was paid the double I pay now in Marvel and DC. They say less. Obviously, in the 90s was a insane sales, 2 million, 5 million. I know they don't. If you say sell to 2,000 or 100, no, 500,000 copies is a super success right now.
Right. Could you imagine if a comic book sold 1 million copies right now? Oh God.
I don't know. There's a lot of experiments and thinking about the future of the comics. I seen the same way the music was. The even they you buy LPs, LP, then you buy cassettes, tapes,
Yeah.
and then CDs, and then I download for the from
Right.
the internet, and then I don't need to buy the download. It's so difficult to download some music, some MP3, then I pay gladly for a Spotify account and hear a lot of music all day and podcasts and a lot of things. No, I see the same way is from the comics, but don't we don't like we don't have it the way uh, we can monetize the digital comics because it's the right now is in a wonderful time with the indie creators making money with Kickstarter and for my comics and
Wait
independent.
a minute. They're making money. I'm not.
No, but this is it's a start. It's it's the separation of the big editorials. Before, everyone who want to make comics, it was a fanzine, local completely, or you want to work with Marvel or DC. There are no other options. Right now, you can ask for financial for friends and fans and make your comic.
Yeah.
It's a big first step, and I think this goes to there, but I think that the finish line was what is going to be digital because we have a big problem with paper globally. It's a less more expensive have to do it and less raw material and and it's a lot expensive, more expensive than before the paper because it was low. Yeah, Dr. Doom and
Yeah,
Caliban.
I'm just laughing because the last comic port, the Caliban was beating up the Thing and his two brothers, and in this comic, he's beating up Doctor Doom.
They copy even the colors.
Right.
There is no shame.
They didn't try to change a damn thing over here.
No, there was no shame. It was the color like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. So this is an inside page. I scrolled down so far that I'm actually seeing where'd it go.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the inside pages, but I
You,
like
you,
it.
you know, with the digital comics, you have a more fan base because right now, for example, me, I can back some of the
Right.
project you have because the shipping is insane. It's more expensive than the comic. I love some projects from Spain or France and or British, and it's cheaper buy my car here.
Right. I was talking to Ashley, who does the Unbroken Argonauts, and he said to me, because I'd like to back your comic, but I live in Ireland, and it's $40 to get one comic book shipped to Ireland.
Yeah.
So
And if he comes, because it might be lost in the way.
right. So he convinced me to make a digital tier. I didn't want to do a digital tier, but he's right. He's right. So
Yeah,
because of him, anybody who got my comic,
you have to think those comics are people like us, like 40, 30, 40, 50, who wanted to be physical.
right.
But all the kids are saying comics in her phones, in her tablet. There are the future of the buyers of comics. We in 30 years we are dead and long gone.
Right.
But the kids,
I'd like to at some point, when I got like 10 issues or so, like put it on Amazon, so like you could get it for cheap, or like because I'd like people to read my comic, but like I got 300 people buying my comic book, which is really good, but I would like to get as many eyeballs on my comic as possible.
yeah, and there are some experiments. I don't know if you read Scott McCloud's comics, like Reinventing Comics, and
yeah. Scott McCloud is really good. Yeah.
He opened the door for some option like a micropayment and digital comics. It's another kind of storytelling too.
Right.
If you don't want to make digital and then print it, you have a infinity canvas to play with it, and it's fascinating. There are you don't know if you know panelsyndicate.com.
I don't understand.
Panelsyndicate.com.
Panel Syndicate?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
If you write it in the browser, it's an editorial from Bauhaus, KB Bauhaus, the writer of G, The Last Man, and Saga, and you know the artist, the reader.
Okay.
J.K. Bauhaus.
Okay, so this is a way to get digital comics.
Yeah, they have a plan. Like they start to upload comics from there, and you can download for a price you want.
Oh,
even free.
okay.
Even you can download free, and then if you like it, pay $50, $60, $20. But it's a Private Friday, Universe, the Ironhead and Black Hand and Ironhead are fantastic comics. Free Dive with Martin Martin. It's amazing this kind of publishers.
Oh, we got Ed Baker over here.
Yeah, but if you click it and have the option to put $0. The only bad with this is this model working because it's Kibaham, K KB Bauham.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name exactly, but he's the writer of yeah, The Last Man and Saga
Oh,
and
Brian Kwan.
yeah. Is here is here. As it was David Lopez, who is an Hispanic artist who make Captain Marvel and the all new Wolverine with Laura, the female Wolverine.
Yeah. And Jay
Uh,
Farber. I like Jay Farber a lot. I like his
yeah,
content. He kind of disappeared, so I guess he's doing this now.
yeah. They say they receive more money than working with Marvel or DC with this kind, and it's completely what you want to pay.
Oh
But,
wow.
but they have a lot of fan base from the comic industry. They have a big names. It's easy to collect. I think that if you are a newbie or started, don't have a lot of fan base yet. This model works for an artist who is ready to and don't have to pay to anyone anyone.
That's something else to look at. Yeah. I remember the first time I heard about that. Stephen King put a novel on the internet, and it was just like, download it, pay me what you want. And I remember I was like, this is the stupidest idea in the world. People are just going to rip you off. And Stephen King said he made more money off that novel than most of his other novels.
Yeah, because it's a Stephen King, and if you want to download you if you are a fan of Stephen King, you want to download for free, you want to feel bad. You are
Yeah.
going to be like a cheating something.
Right. Yeah.
So everyone pays.
And then I got that Pandora to listen to music on my phone. I'll put my headphones on and listen to Pandora. And I buy records now. Like, oh, I like this band. Oh, that was the same band. So I've been buying records from bands that from a free Pandora. So there you go. So, and maybe you're onto something. But
Yeah, we're going to digital. Is the finish of the comic, the finish line of the comic. We are going to be digital because we in the future there was no more paper. It was a luxury thing. Almost all the new guys are nomad. They have a work in Spain and go to Spain, and they go to Japan and go to Japan, and also all his things are in a suitcase. They have all his comics in a tablet. They have all his book in a Kindle. They have all his music in an iPod.
No, this is all your entertainment right here. Carry it, put it in your pocket.
Yeah. I have a Kindle and an iPad, but it's for work or checking mails and reading something. No? But all the new people are reading comics. In Japan, is the biggest market in the world for comics, and almost all the people read in his phone with webtoons and another publisher. And it's more easy because you don't have to pay for printing and you don't have to pay for distribution. It's the more expensive thing.
I know. I just paid for printing on Monday, right? I just paid. Well, you know what? We've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes. I'm gonna close it down now because I gotta go to sleep. I'm starting to yawn.
Yeah, you're too late.
Yeah.
We're here at 11. You are 1 a.m.
11:45 p.m. for me. So tomorrow at 5 o'clock, I have Mike Barron's going to come on.
Sure.
Yeah,
Mike Barron is the writer of Nexus.
Yes, Mike Barron, writer of Nexus, and he just emailed me. He's like, "Hey, John, I got a new comic coming. Can I come on your
Oh,
channel?
awesome,
Mike
awesome.
Barron is asking, of course, whatever Mike Barron asks for, he gets.
Yeah.
And then Steven Johnson. Steven Johnson, I'm gonna have a talk with him at 7 p.m. tomorrow. He's a fine artist that Tonic Bowl struck up a conversation with him at a convention, and then recommended to become his artist. So good. So he he's not so much a comic book artist, but I think it'll be a fun talk. And then after that, we're gonna do it's clobbering time. Batman Beyond versus Spider-Man 29. That was your idea, so you better show up.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
So that
just one thing before we go. I think the next week or in 2 weeks, Aaron is start the campaign from Doomface, near the Doomface, with Renzo art and my colors.
Yeah, so Renzo is drawing Neil before Doomface, and Oscar, you're coloring it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So there you go. That looks awesome. I keep seeing Renzo putting illustrations on Twitter. It looks good. And then Aaron was on my channel a couple weeks ago. We talked for 2 hours, then turned off the camera and talked for another 3 hours. That guy is such a good guy. I love that guy.
Yeah. In 1 week, I start the campaign. I think it's in Kickstarter. I don't know. I don't will say it in the next week, but it's closer. Yeah.
All right, but I got to go look up Caliban now. I'm kind of intrigued. But thanks a lot, Oscar.
If sometimes I go to New York, I send you some. I give you some comics from Caliban and wrestlers and terror that.
I want some comics of Gwen Stacy still alive, married to Peter Parker.
Oh, that's rare and expensive.
Oh, they are? Okay, yeah. All right. You don't have to do that. All right.
Right.
Let's see you, everybody.
See you.
Back Heroic Tales on Indiegogo. If you back Heroic Tales on Indiegogo, you might get the comic before the campaign even ends, because I printed up extra, and I'll start shipping them out as soon as I get them. They said 2 weeks. So let's hope. All right. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.